Hi. We will wait a bit, some seconds, minutes.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Hi guys.
Hi guys and girls. Not just guys.
We decided today to make quick live with most common questions and answers about teaching English in Vietnam and China. So we can describe a bit the process as a whole, and meanwhile you can leave your questions in this down.
Leave your question in this down. What you don't understand?
I'm a bit nervous. You can leave your questions down, and after we'll come back to them and answer them.
Yes.
So right now we are in the middle of August, and it's a high season for English teachers in Asia. We can say that we help to hire English teachers all year round, but the highest season is when the semester starts in September and February.
Right now is the highest season.
Yeah. Right now the offers are the best.
And the most of them.
Yeah. What do you need to teach English in Asia? You need to have your bachelor's degree and spoken English. Everything else is...
Even bachelor's degree you don't always need.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay without.
We had cases...
If your English is good enough, you don't have to have a bachelor's degree. But to teach legally and to have all the legal documents done, you need to have a bachelor's degree, any bachelor's degree. It can be engineering, it can be whatever.
You can be from any country in the world as long as your English is good. And that's it about requirements. So, as I mentioned, it's a bachelor's degree, but if you don't have, but you have a great English, it's discussable. And just spoken English and the desire to work with kids. If you love kids, everything else, you'll manage how to do it, because the job is not rocket science, and it's pretty easy if you love kids. So if you don't have experience, please don't stress. It's not so important.
And you kind of need to have also a good presence, a good vibe, a good energy, right? You need to be able to speak freely. You need to be a good communicator, yeah? Because you will work with people every day, with kids. Kids are mini people, basically, right? So you need to keep them entertained, to keep their attention alive, yeah? You need to know how to react in unexpected situations. You need to have a good control over the way you express your emotions, yeah? So all these things you also need, yeah? So these are like soft skills, yeah? So if you're someone with good soft skills and you are being told by people around you that you have a good energy and so on, then really teaching might be for you, yeah? So it's not just good English, because some people are big introverts and they don't like to speak and so on, yeah? So you need to be well spoken, yeah? Good energy as well, yeah? So,
I see the question about is a native accent required? Yes, your accent should be as close to native accent as
neutral.
possible. Yeah, it should be neutral.
Native, what does native mean, first of all? Native means from UK or from USA, or, yeah, these are native English speaking countries. You don't have to sound like a British person, yeah? I don't sound like a British person. You just have to be fluent, and you have to have a pretty neutral accent, like don't have a strong, like this Russian accent which I'm making right now. If you speak like this, maybe it's not good.
Because your salary will depend on your accent. You understand? If your accent is like an American accent, everybody will want to work with you. Everybody. You will have a choice. So if you're confused right now, like you don't know, is it job for me? Maybe Asia is not for me. Maybe Vietnam is not for me. Maybe this job for me. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll consider it in the future. Just work on your accent. Just go on YouTube, listen to podcasts. Maybe you're an Arabic speaker, maybe you're a Russian speaker, maybe you're a Spanish speaker. Maybe you can Google on YouTube most common mistakes in pronunciation for Spanish speakers and so on. Because while you are confused and you don't know you want to go or not, just work on your accent. Because if your accent is close to American accent, everybody will want to work with you. Your salary will start from 1.7, 1.8K, and you will have a choice. Because what we see, a lot of people, they're like, with so-so accent, and we try to help them and to get the best offer in the market. But people who have great accent, everybody wants them, and they can choose which location, they can choose the age, they can choose the salary and offers, really.
Yeah.
So if you want to be have this freedom, so like not they choose you but you choose them, just work on your accent 20 minutes per day, and meanwhile you can
you'd be surprised how fast actually the pronunciation can improve and the accent. It's very fast if you work on it.
Yeah. So what's the minimum pay to consider? And I know it depends on regions. Actually, in the country now, it's not really so much depends on region. Like we are just an agency. We are not an employer. We cannot guarantee you payment and so on. Yeah, like we help you to get the best payment on the market. And
starts from 1.2.
Yeah, in Vietnam it starts
usually
from 1.2. That's what we can promise you. But the rest, it will depend on you, because how you will pass the interview. Maybe you'll make employers in love with you so much. They will be like, oh my God, I want him. Oh my God.
Some people get 1,800, for example.
Yeah. Some people, even being non-native, they can get the payment higher than natives if they're super good. If they're super good with kids, they're natural, the accent is great. Like the high point is just, it's up to you, it's not up to us. So the minimum for Vietnam is 1.2K, and the minimum for China is 1.7K plus accommodation. But in China it's a full-time job, and in Vietnam it's a half-day job. It's just 100 hours per month.
What's the minimum pay to consider?
That's it. I read about it.
Okay. That's the one. I'm an introvert. Look, I'm an introvert.
Is the self-certificate from World Tesla Academy valid for Vietnam?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I know it. Yeah. Okay. No problem.
But don't stress right now about Tesla certificate. Just send an intro video so we can show you what is the cheapest, and you can do Tesla certificate in parallel. Like for employer, you answer like I'm doing my TEFL and it will be ready in 1-2 weeks. It's okay.
Also interview. So I'm an introvert. Listen, if you are an introvert, you must fake it that you're not an introvert. As simple as that. If you are an introvert and you act like an introvert, nobody will hire you as a teacher. Is not for you. Very simple. It's not for you. Okay, next. Is it required to pay your recruitment service, or you guys just take a certain percentage of the salary? We don't take any percentage of the salary. We don't have any kind of deal with the employer to take anything from your salary. Your salary is your salary, okay? We take a recruitment fee, which if you go on our website, it's very clear explained there about it, And we take 50% upfront and 50% when you get hired, We don't take from your salary. I know some agencies do that. To be honest, I find it quite disgusting.
Let's stay here about the payment and express one.
What exactly?
Why do you take a prepayment? Because,
why do you take a prepayment? Why do you ask for 50% upfront? Well, because we want to work with serious, committed people, if you don't pay attention. If you don't pay, you don't respect, you don't put the effort into it, So part of the work is on you, actually, not on us, We help you, we hold your hand, we assist you, we promote you, but the actual videos, the introduction video and the teaching video, this is something that you make, We help you to make them, we give you a detailed guide at the beginning when you start working, and then we give you feedback on your attempts to do these videos. You can film 1 time or you can film 10 times. It will kind of be up to you until you kind of get a good, So basically this is why we get an upfront payment, because we need committed people that are serious about this. They really consider, they look at all aspects. What does it mean in terms of cost, in terms of everything we explained to you before we start, And then you basically have skin in the game. This is why.
Because we don't want people who are, I'll give it a try, but if not, I'll have some other things to do.
If in 1 week I don't get the job, I'll find something else.
Like, by the way,
thank you so much.
I found another job and so on. But we already started to work. We already put our time and knowledge and contacts and everything, and it just doesn't sound like honest deal.
When we start working with someone, it means basically that we guarantee them that they will get hired. Some people, of course, move faster than others. Some people are better. It's like this from God above, yeah?
Yeah.
We cannot control how fast exactly you get hired. Some get hired in 2 weeks, some get hired in 2 months, yeah? But basically when we start working and we get that 50% prepayment, then it means we basically guarantee you and we'll never let you down. We'll never give up on you, okay? We work with you until, keyword until, you get hired in Vietnam.
Yeah, and even after you're in Vietnam, if you have some disappointments, like it's less likely, but still we are still in contact. We ask you every week, hey, how are you? Is everything all right?
People change jobs even sometimes.
Yeah. If you come to Vietnam and like worst case scenario, something is not like promised, but it's like it never happened. But maybe the person didn't check the location properly. Maybe he needs to have an I don't know, the huge supermarket next to him or wherever, or some cafe, and he didn't check it before. Like it might be a mistake, but anyway. We help, like for us, it's very important for you to be satisfied.
And one more thing, we select the people as well, the applicants. So it's not enough for someone to come up to you and say, hey, I would like to get hired in Vietnam, please take my prepayment, here it is. I need to look at that person and I need to understand and make an informed decision. First of all, how do they speak? How's their English? What is their experience? Yeah. All these things. What's your bachelor in? Do you have a TEFL or not? Do you know what it means to get one? It's some work to get one, and so on. So all these things are like we pre-qualify the people. So the moment we start working, it means 100% you'll get hired. Yeah, it's not maybe if, hopefully.
Yeah, because we help hundreds of people.
We don't lose our time.
We know the market. We know like the applicant like this, we got hired. So it means this one approximately has this experience, he has this accent, we will get him hired because we had some similar. Because we have this big experience, we can evaluate it pretty right. And some people ask, how can I trust you? And so like, first of all, we have open reviews. And if you send us the video and we see like, we'll be able to get you hired, we can put you in contact with people maybe even from your country who will share your experience, their experience about their work with us and about Vietnam.
Before we start even, you can get in contact very likely with someone from your country who went through the process or is in the process.
But it's better after the video because so many of our teachers, they get the requests and like it might be annoying. But if you're really sure that you're able to get you hired, and you have our image everywhere, like you have a lot of posts, a lot of videos with us, you have our personal, like our face is everywhere. And,
this is my face.
Yeah.
It's
and we are always in contact.
Could be better,
with you.
but
you can
it
see
still
that
works.
We are online since month and month, almost every day. Just for weekends we don't work. Like, I think we deserve trust much, like any agency on the market because we are super much committed.
We deserve more trust actually because
very serious.
Most of them don't show their faces.
Yeah.
Just a second, I want to read some of the comments. Yeah, so. It's a tragedy being for years enacted by humans that introvert can't perform or always will under. I don't know what you mean. If you're an introvert and it shows, just send us a video and we'll be able to tell. Send us an introduction video and we'll be able to tell. Can you teach or not? Don't be so worried though about that. I'm a Moroccan and English is not my first language. Is that a barrier? No, it's not a barrier. If you're English is not my first language or her first language. If English is not your first language, that's not a problem. It just has to be good enough. Send us an introduction video and we'll be able to tell.
We have many Moroccan clients, don't
many
worry.
Moroccans. No, you need to be able to speak well. Okay,
presence
true.
Affects salary. Yeah.
Presence affects salary. Yeah, 100%. So your energy, your presence is not just how you your English level, but also your kind of energy. Is there China also? I'm B2. B2, China.
No. For China is very strict. I can speak a little bit about China. China is very strict right now. China is not like it used to be before COVID. And for China, you need to have a great English. You need to have C1, C2. You need to have just profile degree, like the bachelor's degree which connects with English. It can be linguistic, it can be the English teacher, it can be translator, and so on. And you need to have 2 years of offline teaching experience to get hired as an English teacher legally with legal teaching visa in China. Like we work only legally, and if you don't have that, it will not be possible for you for China.
China is serious.
Yeah.
You cannot play around.
Vietnam is good and cheap.
True. Vietnam is amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Can you, Alice, please prepare a short list for things travel and teachers need to consider.
Budget-wise. We have that list. Budget-wise, we have a list. Please approach us in DM. We will send you a detailed breakdown of your costs, which you will have to go to Vietnam. But first of all, we need to see an introduction video because maybe that's a waste of effort for you. So maybe you first need to see, hey, is it possible for me? Send us an introduction video. And if it's possible, of course, we'll give you all information. So don't stress about that.
We will update the post anyway. It's a good question. Have you ever worked with Tunisian candidates?
Yes.
Yeah, we have.
We have Tunisians.
Don't worry, you're not so
in Vietnam.
Unique. It works for you.
You're not the only Tunisian English teacher in Vietnam. Accommodation, electricity, things like that.
Okay. We will make a new post about that.
But let me speak about it, Yula. Accommodation. People want to know how much is the accommodation. Why? Whoa, I'll make a post. Let's tell them right now.
Okay.
Accommodation in Vietnam can be extremely cheap. It can actually be as cheap as you want it to be. It can start from even $100 a month for your own little studio, yeah, with everything you need in it, yeah, but very basic, yeah. Or it can be thousands, yeah. Something good, something livable, something modern, something okay with all furniture and the washing machine and everything that you need, I would say is $250, yeah, $250, something nice, something decent, something okay, yeah. Some employers give free accommodation
in villages.
Especially in smaller cities, in towns, in villages. And villages don't really have villages. It's like smaller towns, yeah, smaller cities. They can give free accommodation, and it will be a very basic kind of room with just a bed and a closet, yeah. That's it. So accommodation in Vietnam costs very little compared to how much you make per month. So you'll have a big part of your income, yeah, 1,200 minus, let's say 250. Let's put 250, yeah. So $950 is your disposable income, which you can do whatever you want with it. Spend it, save it, send it back home, whatever.
Down.
More down.
Will this live be saved? Yes.
Yes, this live will be saved. You will be able to see it. I mean the money. I don't know what you mean.
I can do faster. What is the possibility for a non-native who has already worked in China for a long time and wants to move back there again, especially with the same salary expectation?
We need to see the video to be able to
especially for China, we evaluate very accurately. Like we need to see your visa history, we need to see your pictures of your visa, of your work permit, because the visa history influences a lot about your but especially if you has China history, if you had like a visa history with business visa or with student visa and so on, like the chances might be even less.
Yeah.
Flight ticket and others. Okay, we just covered. What else I have to pay for? So first of all, you pay for our commission. You pay the prepayment 300 and 300 after the signing of the contract. After you pay your plane ticket, you pay your business visa from the beginning, by which you're coming to Vietnam. It will be $200. And when you come, if your employer will give you accommodation and you're okay to be with simple room, you will not pay anything. But if you want to rent your studio and be more on the upper side, you need to have money for accommodation and for deposit and some money to eat as well. It's not too late to get a job with you guys with help in China for September start. For China, preparation might take longer than Vietnam, but yeah, we need to see video intro and like all your, because maybe yes, for September, October, we can move very fast. It will be gradually next year with a license in business English. Can I apply? Graduating. I'll be graduating next year with license in business English. Can I apply or should I have a teaching experience?
You can apply.
Yeah, apply right after. Actually, I saw some questions. People like, I will apply after. I want to have a bit of teaching experience in my home country and it will help me, and after I'll move. Not really, because the system in Vietnam is so different. Like this teaching experience might not help you. Just just go as fast as you can. And even we don't know what in Vietnam will be later, because right now they are much more and more prefer natives, and like we don't know what will be in 1-2 years. Maybe more natives will come, and you're just postponing your life decision.
So one thing I want to say, keep in mind that the Vietnamese employers value very much teaching experience, which was happened in their country, in Vietnam. Okay, so they look at 6 months of teaching experience in Vietnam with better eyes than they look at 2 years of experience in Tunisia or Morocco or somewhere else. You understand? So if you're soon to graduate, especially with English language you have English language bachelor's, and you're close to graduate, you basically can go already. You can teach while on a tourist visa. It's very common, to be honest. Yeah, and you can then get your diploma and do all the paperwork when you get your diploma. Yeah, so getting experience in Vietnam as fast as possible is a good idea. You don't need to postpone for any reason. I mean, unless you don't afford to go. Okay, you don't afford the costs. That could be a reason.
Yeah, but for China, you need 2 years of teaching experience.
China is, we need to see introduction video from everybody, by the way. Even people who are interested in China, like, don't feel discouraged. Send us the introduction video and we'll tell you, hey, first of all, we'll have some questions maybe about papers, about experience, about your visa history with China. Is very important. Yeah.
Look, I would like to know what are the chances to get the job offer in China, since Vietnam isn't as safe as they say.
Vietnam is super safe. What are you speaking about?
Yeah, what you compare it to?
Compared to what? Yeah.
Yeah, it's much safer than Western Europe.
Vietnam is ultra safe. Okay,
Yeah.
Vietnam is safe even for a single young woman walking around at night on an empty road in a miniskirt. Okay, like, with your iPhone 15 in your hand, and it's safe. You understand?
Yeah.
Trust me, Vietnam is.
I wouldn't say Vietnam is much more dangerous than China. So okay, in China, like, you have cameras everywhere.
Yeah, but in Vietnam also increasingly we have cameras.
In China they really control you.
So in Vietnam it's super safe. The only thing that can happen to you in Vietnam is that you go in on a crowded street. For example, in Ho Chi Minh City on Bui Vien, like I went. First evening, somebody stole my phone from my pocket. But I was filming with the GoPro like this in the air, so I had my pocket, so they took my phone. So it can happen that anywhere. Be careful with your pockets. That's it. It's a safe country.
When I start teaching in Vietnam for years, can I change to China? Yeah. We have some people who taught in Vietnam for 2 years and now on the way to go to China. Because this experience, because the teaching system is quite similar in China and Vietnam, so they pretty much.
Thank you so much. Look what a good.
Guys, don't hesitate. You can absolutely trust these guys.
Thank you so much. I love you.
Is it safe for women alone?
It's super safe. It's one of the safest countries in the world. Okay.
I think 70% of our clients is single women.
Yeah, most of our clients are single women. Actually.
Yeah.
African teachers. Yeah, we helped African teachers. We need to see your video and we'll let you know. Yeah.
Can you guys connect me with your Tunisian teachers who met in Vietnam?
Send us an introduction video, please, first, because maybe it's a waste of time, no offense.
Is it possible for undergraduate student in the first year to participate or not? First year.
It's possible, but we need to see if your English is good.
Yeah.
We need to see your introduction
you
video.
shouldn't be younger than 22. They will not like it. We cannot.
Yeah.
Do you have teachers from Azerbaijan?
Yes.
They're on the way to...
Azerbaijan rules.
Yeah, on the... really, I think 4 teachers or maybe more, they're gonna fly end of August from Azerbaijan as well. Is it safe for women alone? What kind of visa we can get after applying for a teaching job in Vietnam? Working visa or business visa?
Business visa first.
Yeah, business visa first, but business visa issued by your school. It's completely legal way. And after 3 months, this business visa gets converted into working visa already in Vietnam. You cannot escape business visa. You cannot just come by work visa. You cannot come by tourist visa and after change to work visa. Like, the procedure is only business visa, which converts to work visa. This is the legal way for Vietnam. I worked previously for a few months in the UAE as air hostess. How does that affect the visa history as you mentioned, please?
It doesn't affect.
Yeah, but I don't understand for China or Vietnam. Yeah.
In the UAE she worked.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
we need to understand if you have visa history with China, for China. Yeah?
Yeah.
UAE doesn't matter.
Do you guys do South Korea too, teaching there? No, we don't.
Nope, I'm sorry.
After the contract ends, can we extend it? Yeah, 100%. We have teachers who stay 2-3 years in Vietnam and they don't have plan to...
Some people forget to leave completely.
Yeah, it's not a problem, actually. I see some people that think like, oh, just 1 year, can I get a bigger contract? It's cheaper if you sign contract for 2 years because your work permit payment will be just a little bit higher than for 1 year. So
you save some money.
Yeah, proportionally it's cheaper. Is the prepayment needed? Yes, 100%.
Of course it's needed.
I'm also from Azerbaijan. Can I get Azerbaijani customers' contact numbers for advice?
Brother, yes, or sister, but
well,
you need to send us an introduction video first, okay? So we can tell you, can we work with you or not, yeah? And then, if yes, 100% we'll put you in contact with some other customers from your country and you can speak in your language and ask, hey, is this a scam? Is this a scam? And they'll tell you, no, it's not a scam, don't worry.
Okay. What are the maximum ages to apply? Like, I'm about to turn 38. We had a customer with 49.
She had.
Yeah, 49.
30, you're young and fresh, don't worry. Let me speak as well.
Yeah, but you read quite slowly. I want to move fast. Okay, I just finished. Yeah, can you get international bank account in Vietnam? Yeah. Especially if you get work visa, after your business visa with work visa, you can get in any bank your Visa and MasterCard bank card. Oh, look, I thought this question wasn't this funny.
You need to calm down. How much is tax in Vietnam, please? So the tax in Vietnam on your income will be paid by your employer. So you will get your net income in hand or in the bank account. You don't need to worry about the tax because the employer retains from your brutto salary, the tax. And also, actually, they even pay for your, how do you call it, health insurance, compulsory state Vietnamese health insurance. They actually pay for that, so you can even use those hospitals.
Oh, you guys didn't go to... I used to live in China. I used to live in China more than a year.
She used to teach in China.
Yeah, that's actually how everything started, because in 2016 I went to China. I just took one-way ticket. I flew to Beijing with my backpack, and after for 2 months I traveled whole China from north to the very south by hitchhiking, buses, trains. And when my money finished, because I just traveled with $800 in my pocket, I started to I had to find a way how to get money, and I started to teach English, and people started to ask me how to do that. I used to live in Guangzhou and Dongguan. I love China, but right now we are based in Vietnam, and Vietnam has a lot of advantages. I think if people just look at the salary, like, oh, the salary in Vietnam is lower than in China, it's not really true, because first of all, in Vietnam it's half-day work, because in China you have to be full-time in school or in training center. Like in Vietnam you have a lot of free time, and you can do whatever. You can self-educate yourself, you can find a part-time, you can study any other skill online, like you have a lot of time. Yeah, plus if your English is great, you can get almost the same money in Vietnam as in China. But in Vietnam it's much easier to live psychologically. Really, the food is much more understandable and cheaper than in China, and it's much more foreigners, and you don't feel so much like out of the box like you might feel in China.
Mm-hmm. So for somebody asks the following question: for a foreign teacher in Vietnam, is it easy to travel in Asia? It's super easy. There are a lot of very cheap flights all around the area. The countries around Vietnam generally are very open to all passports. Thailand is very open to most passports. Cambodia is super open to most passports. Laos, the Philippines, Indonesia as well. Bali is a direct flight, quite short flight, like 4 hours or something. So you can travel when you have some free time. You can travel around Asia, and actually that's a big That's what I would do with my free time, to be honest, especially in the summer holiday and in the holidays in general. Just go and travel a bit, you know.
But even from practice, I look at stories of our teachers like every day, and I see for their like long weekends of a holiday, I see their stories from Bali, from Thailand, often from Korea,
I love Bali so much.
From the Philippines, from Cambodia, Laos, like in all region around. Our teachers fly when they have time, because the ticket can be as low as like $40 one way to go to Thailand, for example.
And you need to go to see Angkor Wat in Cambodia. It's, oh my god, amazing completely. It blows your mind if you see Angkor Wat.
Can't wait to get there. What's more used in Vietnam, cash or card payments on a daily basis?
It's kind of both.
Yeah.
So in Vietnam, when you pay for anything, basically any small vendor, even small vendors like a small cafe or small whatever on the street, they will accept payment by scanning their QR code. So everybody has a QR code, even small business, even massage parlor, whatever.
Yeah, but
and you pay with your phone as a newcomer at the beginning, you will use cash mostly, or if you have international bank account, it will be accepted in most places.
Just take some dollars with you, it will be very easy to change.
Take some dollars cash as well.
Hey guys, love what you guys doing. Have you traveled to other countries, and what made Vietnam the place you wanted to work in?
We traveled in many countries. She traveled more in Asia before meeting me, and I traveled more in South America. And in all Europe we traveled. Why we chose Vietnam? Kind of Vietnam chose us in a way, actually. She used to teach in China, and we started working together when she was shortly after she finished teaching English in China. And before the pandemic, we started to do this service also for Vietnam, and then after the pandemic, China was closed for a longer period, and also there.
Why Vietnam?
Why Vietnam?
Because
it was like it's the logical thing after China.
But why would we stay in Vietnam? I want to say first because it's safe, like it's super safe there.
The
Second, or maybe the first of all, it's the quality of life. The quality of life are things which you can afford. It's not comparable to any country right now.
So $1,000 in Vietnam is like $3,000 in Europe or something, yeah. So the income, the money goes much further in Vietnam, yeah. Everything is cheaper than like luxury products or services are priced as normal prices or products or services in, for example, in Europe or in even Eastern Europe or.
Because you have money and you have
feel
time
you have money in Vietnam
to do whatever you want, and meanwhile you eat out, you don't care about cooking, you rent a place, it can be even place with cleaning and cleaning weekly and swimming pool. Like you don't really care about these basics of life, and you feel yourself financially free, and you have time to pursue to think what you really want to do in life. And if teaching is not something what you really want to do for long term, you have time to develop yourself with other skills and passions and meet people from all over the world. Like it really, the value which you get is super good.
Yeah, actually, this is one thing. Teaching doesn't have to be anything permanent. Teaching can be just a stage in your life before you figure out what you want to do next, actually. And it was the same for her, basically. It's something that pays the bills, put some money aside, and you see what you do. You still have free time.
Yeah.
You can have a secondary project on the side. A lot of people develop online businesses or some other projects which they like, handmade jewelry and whatever, because they have enough time. But for that you need to be organized, of course. If you just like to have a coffee like me when you have free time,
when I see some people like texting scammers and so on, like guys, you just don't do your homework. Like you
go read the reviews.
Yeah, you live in the reality when everything is a scam and so on. Like
okay. Anyway, ignore that.
Yeah, we write this down.
Okay. Anything else? Roughly speaking, how much would the whole process cost to get over there?
Around $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah, maybe a bit less.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Also read.
Wait, have you seen?
Is Vietnam?
No, like you don't need to read some.
You're not annoying. let me also have some control here. So, is Vietnam racist for Muslims, for example? She asked this question, or he. Why you don't want to? I can answer that.
No, it's not.
It's not racist. So Vietnam is a very open country. Vietnam is a country that accepts all religions, all faiths, all everything. You understand? One thing they don't really kind of like is, I mean, they don't hire as English teachers. I mean, not about like girls or women who wear the headscarf. Yeah. That's it. So the head has to be uncovered in Vietnam to obtain a teaching job. Otherwise, they simply do not hire, even if the English is very good. Yeah, so that's it. But other than that, they are the most open people in the world to everybody. They don't really care so much.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys who are Muslim. They can, guys and girls. It's just like, if I cannot guess your religion by your look, it's fine.
Yeah, is my local driver's license valid in Vietnam, or should I get a new one? So the Vietnam tends to recognize just international driver's license. Yeah, so you need to get that international kind of certification for your local driver. Probably, most likely, but you need to check exactly for your own country. Probably is not accepted. Driving a scooter in Vietnam without a license, to be honest, by foreigners is very, very common. And police doesn't stop you. They don't care if you have, they don't really care. However, if, God forbid, you get into an accident, even if it's not your fault, and you don't have a license for that scooter that you're driving or that motorbike, then you can be in trouble, actually. So I totally recommend having a license. Once you get your residence permit in Vietnam, you can go and do the Vietnamese driver's school. It's very cheap, and you get a Vietnamese driver's license. That's what I would do. If you already have a scooter license or motorbike, because that's the most used in Vietnam, that's what you need. You don't need a driver's license for cars. You will not need a car there. You need, yeah. If you have that, make it international, so it's accepted in Vietnam, or check for your country. But just just neighboring countries' licenses are accepted in Vietnam. If you're from far away, very likely it's not. Mine, Romania, is not accepted in Vietnam.
But fun fact that Vietnamese come by scooter to get driver license for scooter. That's how relaxed they are.
So, people are asking in the comments, what about Cambodia, Laos, South Korea? So we do not offer our service to any other target countries other than China and Vietnam. Yeah, especially Vietnam. China as well is much more complicated. For China, much higher expectations. So we are not doing anything else. And to be honest, in Cambodia, you don't earn as much as in Vietnam, by the way. And in Cambodia, the prices are higher than in Vietnam. You understand? So you're basically in both ways you are affected. So to be honest, I don't recommend so much going to Cambodia. What about renting flats? So renting, so first of all, if you have that free accommodation from your employer, definitely at least check it out. Go and check, live there for a few.
We don't need to repeat.
What about renting? The person asked about renting. So when you go to rent in Vietnam, the best way to do it is walk around in the area that you like, on the streets that you like, and just look at the buildings. And the buildings that you like, they will have maybe a reception. If not, there is a guard there, and you can ask, maybe with Google Translate, to get a number of the landlord. And you add them on Zalo. Zalo is like WhatsApp, but in Vietnam, yeah, it's the most popular messaging app. You add the owner or the landlord, the manager on Zalo, and you ask, and they show you right away, usually what they have available. So it's very easy in Vietnam, and safe to go and see in person directly.
It's just in big cities. In small cities, it's a bit challenging, but the manager of your school will help you, and it's not.
There are online groups on Facebook. There are groups about renting.
Oh, this is a nice comment. I was a little hesitant before, but I think I made my decision after watching you guys. The energy you're giving is unreal. Thank you so much.
How similar the lifestyle in Vietnam to the one in Bali? Because I've been to Bali, I know. So Vietnam, first of all, is cheaper than Bali. Okay. In terms of how cool the places are, Vietnam and Bali are at the same level. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool cafes, cool restaurants, cool gatherings,
it depends on
events.
the location. If you're more in rural place, like the cafes might be more rare thing. But for me, the biggest difference that in Bali, like I've been 5 times in Bali, and the biggest difference that locals separated in Bali and expats are separated. But in Vietnam, they're all together. Like, and our teachers, they made often friends with Vietnamese. They're in the same group, in the same company. Like, they don't feel so isolated, because in Bali, they really they don't really communicate. They're not in one friend group. But in Vietnam,
In Vietnam, you have more to do with the Vietnamese, because they are all over the place.
Yeah, and they're really curious about foreigners. For example, in China, what I noticed, even psychologically, there are more, if Chinese, I don't want to generalize, but you often feel if Chinese approaches you, maybe he wants to take some advantage of you, maybe he wants to use your pictures after in WeChat and so on. But Vietnamese are really curious about you, like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, how do you like it there? Yeah, beautiful couples.
Thank you.
Motorcycle Vietnam valid in the car? I don't know. Is the driver license for motorcycles valid in other countries? No.
Ask Perplexity, to be honest.
Yeah.
Perplexity, the new Google. It's much better.
What is the percentage rate of getting hired through your program? How long does it take when we are residing in Malaysia?
The fact that you're residing in Malaysia has nothing to do with how long it's going to take. Yeah. We get hired, basically all people, eventually. Some people, indeed, can get hired very slowly. It's usually due to their English level. We tend to tell everybody when we start. So first of all, we need to see the interaction video, the first one, the simple one that you make, to be able to give you a kind of how sure can I get hired and how fast. And I will be able to say something like that when I see. But if we take you, we will eventually get you hired. Some people sooner and some people later. If I have doubts, I usually express that I'm very open, and I tell them at the beginning, hey, in your case it might take a long time because this and this and this, and then it's your decision if you want to kind of take that risk. If I will tell you, or us, we will tell you, hey, your chances are not so good. It's going to take maybe a long time. You need to work on your pronunciation in the meantime as well. All these things, and you're like, no, but I really want. Yeah, I understand, but I really want, and I see that determination in you, and that that strong desire. I actually value that very much, and that can go a very, very long way. Yeah, and then you can try anyway. Yeah, we never give up on our customers. Okay.
Yeah, it's just if you see that it takes longer time than you would expect, just work on your accent or make a video intro, because it was never the situation when you speak like an American and nobody wants you. No, and it's pretty easy to make if you're really determined to get a good accent. Like 3 months of making exercises half hour per day. Like everybody have this. Everybody.
Some people for them it took a long time. And they didn't get hired for several months, and then they found something in their home countries or some other option they found, and they got hired as something else, not an English teacher, right? And then they stopped the process. Yeah, so you can count that as I don't know, that not 100%, but 99% get hired.
Thanks for your amazing energy. I have to go, but you guys are awesome. Love what you are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Do we need teaching experience, or is it enough to have the TEFL? So you don't have to have.
Repeat because people will watch.
But people come and go, so it's not always the same.
I don't want to.
You don't have to have teaching experience. Yeah, it's enough that your English is good enough. Even a TEFL, you
watch our video from the. We will save the video. You can watch from the beginning. I don't want to repeat. What's the most recommended native accent or neutral?
Native is better, of course, but neutral is a close second. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to have this video for very long.
Okay.
So we're already in 45 minutes. You can leave out more questions here, because if your English is good, you can get hired very fast. But if your English is so-so, if you want to go, for example, with friend, because it can slower, or you have kids, it can slower, or you have kind of preferences about the location, I can go just to big city. All these aspects, they're limiting your options, and you cannot, like, you don't have the space. But if your English is good, like, you can limit your options everywhere because everybody will want you. Can you insight us about the system healthcare there in Vietnam? Actually, I have, me personally, I have only positive experience, and I think all our teachers did. Like, the healthcare in Vietnam is pretty cheap. We did dentist things, I did gynecologist things, I did, I think our teachers did like some burns, some, I don't know, simple allergy things and so on. Like, nobody ever complained, and it's pretty good. And actually, I saw many doctors who finished medical school back in USSR, and the medical school is pretty good there, and the machines are good there. I was super surprised. Maybe I haven't been like, I don't go to hospitals pretty often, but I was super surprised about.
Oh, it's very modern.
There. Yeah.
The private clinics are so modern and nice, and
And
when you go to the dentist, they do like this. When they do
the whole.
not the whole, when they put the injection to for you not to have pain. How you call that? Anesthesia, right? When they do that, the assistant does like this on your shoulder, you know. It's so sweet. It never happened in my country. In my country, they just do it, you know. Here they're like,
oh, really? Yeah. And I like so much the system that you don't need to spend a lot of money for pills. When you go, they give you piece by piece, so you don't need to buy a whole box.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, because I'm very conscious about environment, like I don't need the full box. I want just half of it or just some piece. Like, I have a headache today, I just need one pill. Can you give me? And it's very cool what they have it there. So yeah. Don't stress about TEFL, just send video intro, we will advise you after.
Yeah, and about sharing contacts with other customers from your country, we do that only after we get the introduction video, and if we regard you as an eligible applicant that we can get hired, okay? We don't just share contacts to people that we didn't see yet, okay? So first send us the introduction video.
We used to do that. We used to post, we used to tag our teachers everywhere, but they started to complain that
some people don't appreciate to be approached so much about from people
it's
online,
not because we are not honest, we don't share it publicly and so on. We do share, we share it right now much less. And just because a lot of people get annoyed because hundreds of people text and like, oh, are there scammers or not? And like, no, they're not. But when you answer to these hundreds of messages, it's not so nice. So we
they
share
don't
it.
owe us anything, yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And about the passports, how passport affects you?
You cannot not Salim. Yeah, you cannot Salim. Hello, Salim, by the way.
Salim just
Salim just got hired.
Yeah.
You see?
About the passport, I want to say that let's be honest, they prefer native speakers, of course. So number one thing, like, of course, if they'll have a choice, they'll prefer native speakers. But there are not so many native speakers in Vietnam yet.
And they are more expensive usually.
Yeah.
If they're native.
Yeah. And after they ask European passports, and after Europeans, maybe they will consider other parts like Russia, post-USSR countries, North Africa, Latin America. That's it. But like, it's not so strict. It may be like public schools, they have stricter preferences about the passport. Like, with this passport, we cannot hire legally in this government system as public school. But there are public schools, there are kindergartens, there are training centers. So maybe your options might be limited, but it's not impossible. So we managed with a lot of passports. I think 25. You need to count how many countries, because like every month, new country.
They do have a list. Vietnam does have a list of countries to which they do not give business visa and work permits.
Yeah, but it's very small.
It's a small list. Unfortunately, Afghanistan, Pakistan,
Iran,
Yemen, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Some countries like that, but most countries are okay.
Venezuela
also, they didn't like.
Yeah, so then we are waiting for your pictures and videos to share after this with subscribers.
Good luck, Selim. What do we have to say?
The basic English grammar vocabulary is something more. No, it's nothing advanced. You will have your Vietnamese assistant. And actually, this is our contact plan for next week, where our teacher from Algeria shares that being a teacher in Algeria is much more stressful than in Vietnam, because in Vietnam you have a Vietnamese assistant who takes the part of discipline, for example.
And also grammar sometimes.
Yeah, so you have much less headache. You just enjoy being with kids, and you teach them through games and songs mostly, and take this barrier to speak with foreigner.
You have to be an entertainer in Vietnam, okay? So in Vietnam, for them to love you, for the employer to love you, you need to make the kids have fun in your class, yeah? In a way, you can think about it like having fun is more important even than the English language. So you don't have to intimidate the kids. It doesn't have to be this kind of stressful atmosphere where the teacher is the boss and all the kids are like this. No, it's nothing like that. You're half animator, half teacher. And if you can be a good animator and the kids can have fun with you and you're funny and you play games with them, songs and so on, then the kids love you. And if that happens, guess what? The kids will speak home with their parents. Oh my God, I love teacher Alex or whatever. And their parents are the ones who pay the bills. The bill of the English Center, yeah. So English Center is a business, yeah. Unless it's a public school as well. There are public schools, but most of you guys get to teach in private enterprises in Vietnam, yeah. Private English centers, and the parents pay. And if the kid is thrilled about the English lesson and about their teachers, then the parent is also happy, and then automatically, of course, the boss of the English Center, the employer, your boss, will be happy to keep you, yeah. So the kids are your clients in a way, yeah. Small little clients, basically.
Yeah. About the difference, I want to prepare a big post about this with examples, because you can teach in public school, you can teach in kindergarten or training centers. In public school, the size of the class can be as big
somebody
as
asked about
40, 50 students.
What about class size?
That's what I'm answering.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't read before.
Yeah, because I'm reading much faster there.
It can be small or it can be big, depending on the teaching unit where you will teach,
Yeah, so I wanted to say about the school, because in school it can be 40, 50 people, but in kindergarten it can be around 20, but in private center it can be as low as from 8 students to 20, and it depends. So, and the schedule is different as well, because if you work in the school, your day off is gonna be Saturday and Sunday, but if you work in training center, your days off are gonna be Monday and Tuesday. And the salary might be the same everywhere, doesn't matter, but the difference between age groups and the size of the group can vary.
And there are no office hours, she asked.
In China, office there are.
In Vietnam, there's no office hours. You just go to the teaching hours which you have.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification. Much appreciated.
Pleasure.
I think we can finish. I think we saw.
Yeah, that's about it. Any other questions?
We'll save this.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
If anybody has any other question, now is the time. If not, love you. No problem. So many hearts. Thank you for the hearts.
See you in Vietnam.
See you in Vietnam.
We met pretty often, our teachers, and it's a very warm feeling to see that you really physically changed somebody's life, because we understand it's a huge step for you, but believe me, you will never regret about it, because the experience you get and the new you, which you will get yourself, it will influence you so much that you'll become a completely different person. And it's super valuable.
For me, it's very emotional to meet all customers in Vietnam. When I meet them, I feel so emotional. I'm like, look at them. Yeah. I brought them here. Oh my gosh. Some of them got into relationships or found friends.
We have some customers.
Some got married.
Of ours, we have 2 couples. 2 of our clients from different countries, they became couples. Yeah, some girls, they met love of their life in Vietnam, not from our clients, and there are many stories, and it's really, you really feel that you
influence. One more question.
No, we already answered it.
No, look, but this about bachelors. Come on,
But you already answered.
No, but it's in. My bachelor's isn't issued yet. In my country,
I answered this.
It's okay, you
guys.
can go already.
Yeah.
We answered. Watch the.
Yeah. Watch the live again. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon. Bye.